To begin with, Felicity, I'm interested in the responsibilities you have as a curator of Once Removed. What do you need to organise?
Everything. First of all, you need to organise who's going to be in the show, which was done before the proposal was even accepted. So by the time my proposal was accepted, it was pretty well a fait accompli. The artists were confirmed, they were keen, so that in a way the hard work was done, the thinking part of it. And then as soon as the Australia Council decided that was the show they wanted to go with, it shifts into a whole other gear, and you stop having to organise, you know, what artists you want and the conceptual basis of the show, and you start rolling into, I guess, project management. Marketing is a really big thing that I've been involved with. But in terms of my role as a curator, it's been working really closely with the artists in how we make their works happen in Venice, because they're all really quite ambitious works. They're all installation based. They're all quite unusual. So just making sure we can, you know, get the materials, actually fabricate most of it here in Australia, what we need to do there, and then work out what technicians need to come with us, and who's going to be going when, how long it takes to install, things like that.
I am interested in the name behind the group exhibition, Once Removed. Would you like to discuss the meaning behind this name?
Yeah, Once Removed, look, it has many connotations. You know, it refers to, you might have a cousin once removed, so it's sort of that once removed from parts of the family. In Vernon Arkee's work, it has obvious connotations, racist. He's an Aboriginal artist, so of not fitting in, and also, I guess, more overt political reading could be. You could say that in terms of the removal, stolen generation, removal of children. But also, there's a feeling that runs through the show, I guess, of the uncanny. There's a kind of slightly surreal feel to the show, that things aren't quite right. They're not quite fitting in properly. There's weird juxtapositions in the exhibition. So I wanted to encompass those feelings, really, of, I guess, something being amiss, not fitting in.
In a previous interview, you have spoken about how a dialogue is created between artwork in the group exhibition. Would you like to talk about the dialogue that exists between the artworks included in Once Removed exhibition?
Yeah, it's not a big exhibition in terms of the number of artists. I mean, there's only 3 or 4 artists, Claire and Sean, work collaboratively, but it is big in terms of it's at the Venice Biennale. So in a way, you need to keep it really coherent, and I hope that there will be a dialogue. Again, it's this thing of the Once Removed theme of the uncanny will run through the exhibition, but other things too. I mean, for example, it's quite an Australian looking show, especially the Kenya Onatani and Vernon Arkee works. They probably couldn't come from anywhere else, and I kind of like that, because in the past Australia's taken shows to Venice and they've looked very international. They could have come from anywhere, but this year there's Sean Gladwell in the pavilion, then there's this show which also has a real Australian look about it. So I think it's like we've come out of that cultural cringe. We don't have to be embarrassed that we're Australian, and it's okay to portray Australia in the artwork. So that's another theme that runs through the show.
How does Once Removed continue your work as a curator, and has this exhibition inspired any future projects?
Well, look, it does continue my work as a curator. I mean, just what I was just saying about the Australianness was something I thought deeply about when I was doing Primavera for the MCA 3 years ago. That exhibition was about the Australian landscape. It was kind of recasting the Australian landscape in a different light, and looking at how younger artists thought about Australia. So that got me thinking that really we need to look again at what Australia is, which led me in turn to thinking about environmental issues, which were developed with ideas that I developed in the Adelaide Biennial last year. Kenya Onatani's work, the one that's going to Venice, there was an earlier version in that Adelaide Biennial. It's all about environmental degradation. Vernon Arkee's work also relates to that feeling of I guess, racial oppression, not just a feeling, the reality of it, but he does it in quite a humorous way. That was something also that I looked at in the Adelaide Biennale. So yes, certainly it has developed out of those two recent projects and other ones, but they're the main ones. Future projects, yeah, look, I think it will inspire something. At the moment, it's not quite up, and so, you know, my headspace is just kind of wanting to get it up. But if you ask me after the event, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Okay.
On that note, I would like to thank you for your time, Felicity, and I wish you all the best of luck with the exhibition once removed in Venice.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.